Hey Kipsters, this is Miss Jackson Smith. For second grade math today, we're going to be working on using arrays to write repeated addition sentences. For this lesson, you're going to need a pencil and some paper. So please hit pause right now and go get everything you need so that we're ready to start. All right, great, let's begin. So today we're working on writing repeated addition sentences from a picture of an array. So when I look at a picture of an array, it's a grid with rows and columns that shows equal groups. So let's go ahead. You can take a picture of this chart right now. And then let's sing our rows and columns songs. Here we go. Sing it with me. Row, row, row your boat. Rows go side to side. Okay. And columns, they go up and down, up and down, up and down. So if you ever are working on a problem and you forget which way rows and columns go, just try singing that song to help you remember. So on our first problem today, this one's just my turn. You can watch me do it. I have a picture of an array. And my job today is to write two repeated addition sentences to represent the array. I'm going to write one that represents the rows and one that represents the columns. So my first step when I look at this array and I'm thinking about the rows is to remember which way rows go. So I'm going to sing my song, row, row, row your boat, rows go side to side. So that shows me that when I'm thinking about my rows, we're going to go side to side. So watch me draw just to look at those rows. Here we go. All right, that really helps me see that I have 4 rows with 3 in each row. So when I get started to write my repeated addition sentence, I'm going to be adding the number 3 over and over because 3 is the number in each row. So here we go. We've got 3 plus, so that's the first row, 3 plus another 3 plus, in this row there's 3 again, plus 3 again. All right, so that's my repeated addition sentence. Next, when I am looking at this repeated addition sentence and I want to find the total, I could try adding 3 over and over again, but an easy way is to just look for facts I know. So inside of here, I see that just 3 plus 3, I know that that's 6. And I see 3 plus 3 again. So I'm going to turn that into just 6. And so 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay, so our total number in this array is 12. But I'm not done yet because I have to write my repeated addition sentence for the columns. So when I'm looking at the columns, my song goes, columns, they go up and down. So I know that I have to be looking for groups that go up and down. So watch me circle the columns. Here we go. Okay, so those green circles are going to be showing me the columns, and the columns are going up and down. So right away I see that my columns, there's only 3 columns, and there's 4 in each column. So 4 is going to be the number that I'm adding over and over again here. So, all right, I've got in the first column I have 4. And then in the next column I have 4. And then in the next column I have 4 again. All right, so now that I have my repeated addition sentence for the columns, I can look for facts I know. I know 4 plus 4 is 8. And I don't have anything to group with this 4, so I'm just going to bring it down. But 8 plus 4, I know, is 12. So since I got the same number for both of these, that makes sense because they represent the same array. But they're different because this one shows the number in each row is 3 and the number in each column is 4. All right, so the big thing to remember is that when you're writing your repeated addition sentences, the number that you're adding over and over has to be the number in each group. So the number in each row or in each column. All right, I think you're ready to get started on your own. So I'm going to show you a new problem with a new array, and your job is to write a repeated addition sentence that shows the rows, and then a repeated addition sentence that shows the columns. So here you go. Go ahead and pause the video and try it on your own. All right, so I'm going to trust that you tried that on your own and that you're ready for me to show you how I would work on this problem. So For the rows, first of all, I'm going to think about the rows going side to side. When I look at my rows, I see that there's 3 rows of 5 because there's 5 in each one. So 5 is the number that I'm going to be adding over and over. So I'm writing 5 plus 5 plus 5. I'm adding 3 5s because there's 3 rows. All right, now I need to look for facts. I know 5 plus 5, that's 10, plus 5 is 15. So 15 is my total. Next up is my columns. So I'm going to look at columns. They go up and down. So I'm going to circle my columns. And that helps me see that there are 3 in each column, and I can count my columns. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So the number that I'm going to be adding over and over is 3 to show that there's 3 in each column. So here we go. 3 plus 3 plus 3. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns of 3. So there's going to be 5 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Next up, you guys know that it's time for me to look for facts that I know. 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. And there's this little 3 left over, so I'm just going to add that down here. 6 plus 6 I know is 12. And then if I'm going to add on 3 more from that, that's 13, 14, 15. So 6 plus 6 plus 3 is 15. It looks like my totals match. And so I'm all good for this one. I think we're ready for 2 more problems. So here we go. All right, go ahead and pause the video and try these problems on your own. All right, I'm going to trust that you've tried those on your own, and now I'm going to show you how I would do them. So here we go. In this first one, there's not that many circles. This one's not going to take that long. If I look at the rows, row, 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 your rows go side to side. So I know we go side to side here. And that shows me that there's 2 rows of 3 in each row. So the number I'm adding over and over is 3. So I've got 3 in the first row plus 3 in the second row. Well, that was easy. I know that 3 plus 3 is 6. I don't really even need to regroup it. I can just write it right here. All right, so next up is the columns. Columns go up and down. So I'm just going to go ahead and circle those to help me see. And I see that there's 1, 2, 3 groups of 2. So I'm going to be adding 2 for the first column, 2 for the next column, and 2 for the third column. I know that 2 plus 2 is 4. And then there's that little 2 left over there. 4 plus 2 is 6. Done with the first one. All right, let's move over to this next one. I see that I have rows and columns, so I have to look at the rows first. Rows go side to side. Here we go. All right, so I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 2. So I'm going to be adding 2 over and over. All right, 2 for the first row, 2 for the second row, 2 for the third row, 2 for the fourth row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're done there. So I've got 5 2's for my repeated addition sentence for rows. Now I look for facts I know. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus another 2 that's left over. Okay, well 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus, we still got that extra 2. 8 plus 2 is 10. So the total of 5 rows of 2 is 10. Last step is I need to write for my columns now. So columns go up and down, and I see that there's only 2 columns, but there's 5 in each column. So the number that I'm going to be writing over and over is 5 because that's the number in each column. 5 for the first column plus 5 for the next column. All right, here we go. I know 5 plus 5 is just 10, so I'm all done there. So that's all of the problems that we had today. There should be some links down at the bottom of the video for some extra songs and extra practice you could get with arrays. But I love you and I miss you, and I'll talk to you again soon and do a little more math tomorrow. Bye for now.